Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Rashbihari Radhe Jaya Gaurangi Bangaloreshwar Gaurangi Bangaloreshwar Gaurangi Jaya Gaurangi Bangalore Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jai Subhadra Jaya Sudarshana Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jayavananta Dev Prahlad Narasimha Jaya Ananta Dev Jaya Nitai Chaitanya Jaya Nitai Chaitanya Nitai Chaitanya Jaya Nitai Chaitanya Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल हरि नाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजाचार्य स्तोत्र शतम His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Sanstapakacharya, BBD Sanstapakacharya, Savior of the whole universe, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Stotra Shata. His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य श्री हरदास ठाकुर की जय जय श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ छठ गोस्वामी प्रभुगण की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय श्री क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय जमुना माई की जय कावेरी माई की जय भक्ति देवी की जय तुलसी महारानी की जय समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय पुरुषोत्तम मास की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम भगवद गीता की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories and glories and glories and glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतं सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलं गायतेन गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारिणं परमानन्दं माधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरि ओम तत्सत् Hare Krishna. So we'll continue our reading. So we'll continue our reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, third chapter, 36th verse and 37th verse. आज भगवद गीता के तीसरे अध्याय के 36वें और 37वें श्लोक का हम अनुवादन करेंगे। यहाँ पर 36वां श्लोक लेते हैं। अगर आपके पास आपका मोबाइल फोन हो, स्मार्टफोन, तो ले लीजिए उसमें से। Acha. Yeah, but it is displayed here so we can really see it. Thank you so much for making this arrangement. Text number 36. Arjuna Uvacha Atha Kena Prayuktoyam Papam Charati Purusha Anichannapi Varnesha Valat Iva Nivojita Arjuna Uvacha Atha Kena Prayuktoyam Papam Charati Purusha Anichannapi Varsneya Balat Iva Nimojita Arjuna Uvacha Athakena Prayaptoyam Papam Charati Purusha Anichamapi Vaishneya Baladiva Nivajita. Devotees can repeat one or two of them.
Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna Uvacha
Atakena Prayuktoyam
Athakena Prayuktoyam
Papam Charati Purusham
Papam Charati Purusha
Anichannapi Varshneya
Jannapi Vaishneya
Baladiva Niyojita.
Baladiva Nivajita.
Mataji, somebody.
Arjuna Uvacha Atakena Prayuktoyam Papam Charati Purusha Anichamapi Vaishneya Baladiva Niyojita. Somebody else? You don't need to be a Pandita in Sanskrit. Please go ahead, some mistakes are also okay. Arjuna Uvacha Atakena Prayuktoyam Papam Charati Purusha
अनिच्छन्नपि वाष्णेय
Anichamapi Vaishneya
बलादिवा नियोजिता.
Baladiva Niyojita. Yes, Prabhu. Arjuna Uvacha
Keena prayuktoyam
Athakena Prayuktoyam
papam chariti purushaha
Papam Charati Purusha
anichannapi vasneya
Anichannapi Vaishneya
daladiva niyojitaha.
Baladiva Niyojita. Thank you very much. Word to word translation. Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna said, Ata, then, Kena, by what? Prayukta, impelled. I am one. Papam, since. Charati, does. Purusha, a man. Anichan, without desiring. Api, although. Vaishneya, or descendants of Vrishni. Balat, by force. Iva, as if. Niyojita, engaged. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, if he engaged by force? Please repeat after me. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? Purport. A living entity, a part and parcel of the Supreme, is originally spiritual, pure and free from all material contamination. Therefore, by nature, he is not subject to sins of the material world. But when he is in contact with the material nature, he acts in many sinful ways without hesitation, and sometimes even against his will. As such, Arjuna's question to Krishna is very sanguine as to the perverted nature of living entities. Although the living entity sometimes does not want to act in sin, he is still forced he is still forced to act. Sinful actions are not, however, impelled by the super soul within, but are due to another cause, as Lord explains in the next verse. So we'll quickly take the verse number 37 as well. Uh, for paucity of time, I may not repeat three times, I'll repeat once and then we will move into the discussion. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kamaesha Krodesha रजोगुण समभ्वान महसानो महत्पाप्मा वद्य एनम इहा विनिरम word to word translation. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, the personality of God had said, Kama, lust, Esha, this, Krodha, wrath, Esha, this, Rajaguna, the modes of passion, Sambudvan, born of, Mahasana, all devouring, Mahapapma, greatly sinful, Vidhi, no, Enam, this, Iha, in the material world, Vairina, greatest enemy. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of God had said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of the world. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. When a living entity comes in contact with the material creation, his eternal love for Krishna is transformed into lust in association with the mode of passion. Or in other words, the sense of love of God becomes transformed into lust as milk in contact with sour tamarind is transformed into yogurt. Then again, when lust is unsatisfied, it turns into wrath. Wrath is transformed into illusion, and illusion continues the material existence. Therefore, lust is the greatest enemy of the living entity, and it is lust only which induces the pure living entity to remain entangled in the material world. Wrath is the manifestation of mode of ignorance. These modes exhibit themselves as wrath and other corollaries. If therefore the mode of passion, instead of being degraded into mode of ignorance, is elevated to mode of goodness by the prescribed method of living and acting, then one can be saved from the degradation of wrath by spiritual attachment. The Supreme Personality of Godhead expanded himself into many of his ever increasing spiritual bliss, and the living entities are part and parcel of this spiritual bliss. They also have partial independence, but they misuse their independence when the service attitude is transformed into propensity for sense enjoyment. They come under the sway of lust. This material creation is created by the Lord to give facility to the conditioned soul to fulfill these lustful propensities. And when completely baffled by prolonged lustful activities, the living entities begin to inquire about their real position. This inquiry is the beginning of the Vedanta Sutras, wherein it is said, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. One should inquire into the Supreme, and the Supreme is defined in Srimad Bhagavatam as Janmadiyasya Yato Naryat Itratascha, or the origin of everything is the Supreme Brahman. Therefore, the origin of lust is also the Supreme. If therefore lust is transformed into love for Supreme, or transformed into Krishna consciousness, or in other words, desiring everything for Krishna, then both lust and wrath can be spiritualized. Hanuman, the great servant of Lord Rama, exhibited his wrath by burning the golden city of Ravana. By doing so, he became the greatest devotee of Lord Rama. Here also in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord induces Arjuna to engage his wrath into upon his enemies for the satisfaction of the Lord. Therefore, lust and wrath, when they are employed in Krishna consciousness, become friends instead of enemies. Om Tat Sat. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to chapter 3 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The chapter is titled Karma Yoga, and the text number that we are reading today is 36 and 37. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapatakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Tamostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hi Krishna, thank you very much for joining us this evening. I'm so happy coming back here to the HSR Center under Murli Priya Prabhu and all the wonderful Vaishnavas here. I seek all your blessings before I start speaking anything on the subject today, because the subject matter is directly spoken by Arjuna, who's the greatest devotee of the Lord. The questions are asked by Arjuna, and then subsequently in the next sloka, 37th sloka, Krishna himself answers this question. So this is a conversation where it does not require any mundane interpretation at all. It's a straight question, straight answer. And Srila Prabhupada says, perfect question, perfect answers. There's a very small, nice book that describes a lot of questions which, as human beings, we should ask. हम मनुष्य बने हैं तो उसका क्या फर्क पड़ता है? अगर हम दूसरी योनि में भी होते तो हम ऐसे कोई प्रश्न नहीं कर सकते. इसीलिए कहते हैं कि अगर हम मनुष्य योनि में आए हैं तो हमारी सबसे पहली जो इच्छा होनी चाहिए वो भगवत धाम जाने की होनी चाहिए, या भगवान के बारे में सोचने की होनी चाहिए, या भगवान के भक्ति करने की होनी चाहिए. सो दिस इज व्हाट इज taught to us here in the 36th sloka. Arjuna is asking this question कि Oh Lord, please let me know, why are the human beings, why are we impelled, why are we pushed into doing some sinful activities? Yeah, many times we feel, no, I come from a very good family. My parents were all very nice devotees. Why am I doing something which is not right? Or if not for ourselves, many times we think he comes from a very good background or she comes from a very good background, but we see that they don't follow the path of dharma. They have gone astray. But this is the same question that Arjuna is asking here. He says कि we are pushed. हम धकेल दिए जाते हैं गलत काम करने में, हम कुछ गलतियां करने में धकेल दिए जाते हैं. यही बात अर्जुन यहाँ पर भगवान श्री कृष्ण से पूछ रहे हैं, और ये कहां पर पूछ रहे हैं? युद्ध के मैदान में. युद्ध के मैदान में बीच में खड़े हुए और भगवान श्री कृष्ण को पूछ रहे हैं कि भगवान आप हमें बताइए कि हम इन गलतियों की तरफ या फिर हम इन बुरे कर्मों की तरफ क्यों झोंके जाते हैं? Why are we forced into this activities where we perform sinful activities? और श्री प्रभुपाद यहाँ पर बहुत अच्छी तरह से बताते हैं कि अगर हम अच्छी तरह अगर जीना चाहते हैं, अगर हम पाप नहीं करना चाहते हैं, अगर हम पुण्य करना चाहते हैं. पुण्य इज समथिंग विच इज एक्चुअली नाइस एक्टिविटीज ऑफ पाइटी. अगर हम ये करना चाहते हैं तो ये खाली ह्यूमन बीइंग कर सकता है, यानी मनुष्य ही कर सकता है. ओनली ह्यूमन बीइंग कैन डू आइदर पाप कर्मा और पुण्य कर्मा. Animalistic society doesn't have anything called punya or papa. Yeah, they can do whatever they want to do in the animalistic society, and it is they are not subjected to rules and regulations like the human society is subjected to. Have you ever seen on anywhere on the road, where it says the animal should cross only from the left or the right, or they should drive on the left or the right? But these rules are made for human beings. When we drive a car, we have to drive on the left when you are in India, or when you go to the Western world, you have to drive on the left, on the right. So these are rules which are made for human beings, and they are not meant for animalistic society. So the rules are only for human society and not for animalistic society. So it says, okay, so rules are generally made for the human society, and this is not meant for cats and dogs. And while the rules are made, one has to follow them. And if we don't follow the rules as human beings, then what has happened to us? If you drive in India, if you drive on the right side, what happens to you? Accidents happen, and if accidents don't happen, somebody will stop you, and what they will do? They'll put a fine, they'll challan you. Likewise, in the spiritual world also, when we are connected with the spiritual world, there are certain activities that we are not supposed to do. There are 4 pillars of dharma. Yeah, and then on these 4 pillars, or these are 4 activities which a human being should not do. Forget about XYZ caste. A human being himself or herself should not do. That is basically no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. So if these 4 regulations are followed, then we are only called human beings. We are not even civilized human beings there. We are only called human beings. Beyond that is a civilized human, and beyond that is somebody who actually loves God, and beyond that is a devotee. तो यहाँ पर श्रील प्रभुपाद बहुत अच्छी तरह कहते हैं कि अगर हम ये 4 जो हमारे उसूल बनाए गए हैं, अगर हम उनको पालन नहीं करते तो हम मनुष्य कहलाने के भी लायक नहीं है. You're not even fit to be called as a human being if you don't follow these 4 principles of the human life. And many times we say we want to be free from rules and regulations. No, when you're in the state of Karnataka or in the state of India, you have to follow the Indian laws. When you go to some other place, then you follow the laws of that particular land. Likewise, when you become a human being, you have to follow the rules and regulations which are meant for human beings. You can't become animal, you can't start eating other animals, you can't start eating other human beings, and you can't have illicit sex. Absolutely forbidden. It is not forbidden in the animalistic society. So Arjuna is asking a question which is, how do I really differentiate, and why are we forced into committing such activities which are not to be done by the human beings? Likewise, the example is given saying that just like the elephant can eat about 40 kgs at a time, yeah, can human beings eat 1 kg also at a time? No. So we are meant for something, so we better follow something. Our body or our teeth or our biological construction is not that good that we can eat non-veg and digest it. Have you seen the teeth of a lion or a tiger? They have sharp teeth, to tear the other animals apart. Their digestive system is so long that even if it stays longer duration into their life, into their body, they can digest it. Their excretion is in a way where they can excrete whatever is not utilized by the body. But human body is not meant for it. So whatever is meant for the human body, in the interest of our own bodies, in the interest of the human body, we should eat or we should do. Not do something which is not meant for us. So a simple example is given by Srila Prabhupada, as I said, कि भाई अगर हाथी को अगर खाना देते तो 40 किलो एक समय में खा सकता है. पर क्या आप मनुष्य को 40 किलो खिला सकते हैं? नहीं खिला सकते। 1 किलो भी नहीं खिला सकते आप। 250 ग्राम से 300 ग्राम से ज्यादा कुछ नहीं खिला सकते एक मनुष्य को। तो वी हैव टू फॉलो व्हाट हैज बीन लेड डाउन, द रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस व्हिच हैव बीन लेड डाउन इन आवर लाइफ, व्हिच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। एंड यहां पर अर्जुन ये कह रहे हैं कि भगवान श्री कृष्ण मुझे ये बताइए कि जो इसके पीछे जो शक्ति है, जो पावर है, जो हमें गलत कामों में करने के लिए उत्तेजित करती है, इट इज फोर्सिंग अस to do sinful or commit sinful activities. We don't like it. Arjuna says this very clearly in the shloka itself. He says, I don't like to do any sinful activities, but then we are forced. Why is this happening, Krishna? Please tell me. Can you show me the answer? Can you show me the right way? This is the quality of Arjuna. Arjuna is submissively asking him. That is why we said that, whenever you meet a guru or whenever you're taking up to spiritual life, you should ask submissively. You can't be commandingly asked. Arjuna could have asked, "Arey, mere ko batao na." It doesn't say that. He says with folded hands, "Krishna, can you tell me, despite my not wanting to commit any sinful activities, I'm still forced to commit these activities." And in the following shloka, as we go forward, the 37th shloka, Srila Prabhupada very nicely describes that earlier also in this part of it, Srila Prabhupada in one of the lectures very clearly talks about the Chaturvanya Maya Shrishtam Gunakarma Vibhashanam Vivagashaha. And Krishna says, and Srila Prabhupada is very nicely describing that it is basically because of the three modes of material nature that we all act in such a way. It is because of passion that we take up to sinful activities. That's what it is going to be described in the next shloka that we really take. I'll just read the next shloka translation for our benefit. Yes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "It is lust only, Arjuna, which is born out of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world." Now Krishna is talking about lust and anger both, and all of us get angry. No, some of us don't. Okay, thank you. I thought I was the only one. But it is nature. It's a human nature. कि अगर आपको अगर गुस्सा आता है तो ये आप, it's a quality that you're a human being. Yeah. Sometimes animals don't get angry. Some of the animals. So यहाँ पर we see that all of us get angry, but when the anger is used in the right direction, the right direction is what? Is it used in the service of the Lord? The greatest example that we can take is from Ramayana. Hanuman was sent in search of Mother Sita, and Mother Sita was found in Ashokavatika. And when he was trying to have communication with Mother Sita, the Asuras catch hold of him and take him in front of Ravana. And Ravana, you ask him a couple of questions and all of that, and then he says, set what? Set his tail on fire. Yeah. So you know how Hanuman is. He can become smaller than the smallest and larger than the largest. That's the quality. So he gets angry that one is you have insulted Mother Sita, insulted Lord Ramachandra, you have captivated Mother Sita forcefully. And he gets angry. And because of his anger, what does he do finally? He burns the beautiful city, the golden city of Lanka. And the whole city is turned into ashes. This is anger. But he's not used this anger for his personal use. He's used it for the service of Lord Ramachandra. And Lord Ramachandra's desire was that, we should free Mother Sita and get her back home. Now, Hanuman is actually helping Lord Ramachandra to fulfill the desire. So when we try and fulfill the desires of the spiritual master or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, here in the example that we saw was Hanuman. Hanuman is in direct contact with Lord Ramachandra. उनके सामने खड़े रह के बात करते थे, उनके सामने प्रत्यक्ष रूप में भगवान के सामने थे हनुमान जी. इसके लिए उनको जो डायरेक्ट इंस्ट्रक्शन मिलता है, जो उनको इंस्ट्रक्शन मिलता है वो डायरेक्टली मिल जाता है. इसके लिए वो उनकी सेवा में गुस्सा भी करे तो चलता है. यहां पर हम देखते हैं कि हमारे सामने हमारी क्वालिटी नहीं है कि हम भगवान के सामने जा सके. अगर आज आपके सामने भगवान आके खड़े भी रह जाए और बोले मैं भगवान हूं, तो आप क्या बोलोगे? अरे भाई बहुत देखे ऐसे, चलो आगे. Yeah, this is what we say. We have seen so many dramatists who says, "I'm Lord." We have seen that in this material world also. You know, हाथ में से विभूति निकालेंगे, बोलेंगे मैं भगवान हूँ. They are not gods. They are so-called God-men or whatever, whatever. But the Lord doesn't appear so cheaply in the material world. Yes, He does appear, and He appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When He appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, He created the biggest ever event. You know, today we see 8,000, 10,000, 20,000 people accumulating, coming together, and we say it's a big event. Sankirtan movement, when the Lord came in the material world in the Kali Yuga, he had the largest ever congregation of devotees chanting the Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here we see that even if the Lord is not available in front of us, we can take instructions from Guru. And it is also very important. Many times we get this, unnecessary doubts in our mind saying that I can hear my Guru in my sleep, in my dream. No. You need instructions from a living Guru. There are two services that you can do. One is service of the Guru, either in Vani. What is Vani? You hear what he says. You read what he has written. And there's a second service which is called Vapu. Vapu is when he is physically available in the material world. You serve him by various ways. By personally serving him, by washing his clothes, by cooking for him. And if you have noticed, any genuine guru or a bona fide spiritual master never takes the service for himself. He offers it to the Lord first and then takes it as his prasadam. So, again, going back to our subject here today, the lust is born out of passion. There are three modes of material nature: passionate, ignorance, and goodness. All three are because of material nature. And passionate people, who are passionate people? Even in our society that we divide into Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, there are people who are put into certain places. So if we say Brahmanas, they are counted as mode of goodness. Shuddha Sattva, very quiet, calm. That is the quality of a Brahmana. Then when we come to when we come to Kshatriyas are generally in the mode of passion. Yeah. Yes. They want to fight. They want to accumulate. They want to rule. They want to show their power. They want to show their chivalry. That's the quality of them. And when we come to people in the mode of ignorance, that's the third level. This is the Shudras class. And in the material world, all of us have some portion of it. All the three passions, passion, ignorance, and goodness, in some proportions, all of us have. So if you really get angry, then you realize that you are in the mode of passion. Sometimes you do something really abominable, then that you are in the mode of ignorance. And when you sit and chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra nicely, talk to people about Krishna, read the Srimad Bhagavatam, go out and preach, go out and talk about it, then you are in the mode of goodness. So, depending on the mode which we are currently touching upon, this act of sinfulness comes into us. And if we use any of this in the right direction, as we took the example of Hanuman, he was in mode of passion. Yeah, he destroyed the whole Lanka. Can you destroy Lanka in the mode of goodness? No, you cannot. You'll say, अच्छा ठीक है, हाथ जोड़ के वापस आ गए. But Hanuman was doing it. He was angry because Mother Sita was captivated there. Ravana was not relieving her. Lord Ramchandra was put into so much of difficulty and uh, sadness that he was not allowed to approach him and to request him and all of that. So he was very, very angry, and he showed his anger by burning the whole city of Lanka, the golden city of Lanka. Likewise, when we are devotees, it is very important that we use these modes into the right direction. And there's another example, very nice example. Some time back, I don't know if all of you have known about this. Sridham Mayapur was attacked, it was quite some time back, not in the recent past. It was attacked by the dacoits. And there were a group of devotees who said, no, no, you can't do anything. And they were taking away everything, they took away the deities, they were beating the devotees and all that. But then there it came saying that we are protecting the movement of Srila Prabhupada. Devotees they took up their guns, they took up their lathis and fought with the dacoits and they ran away. Yeah, one of our very senior sannyasi, His Holiness Bhaktiragha Swami Maharaj, he lost his leg in that fight. That doesn't mean he is a sannyasi. He was a sannyasi that time also. But then he fought for a cause. When it is a cause, when it is in the right direction, when you do it for the service of the Lord or you do it for the service of the spiritual master, then that sinful activity does not impact us. It does not become sinful activity. It actually becomes a blessing in disguise. So, whatever we do, if we dovetail our activities, if we dovetail whatever activities that we do, you may be very fond of doing business. Yes, you can do business. You can also make money. You can earn profits. But if you dovetail that activity for Krishna, when you're doing this activity, you think of Krishna and then do it, then the sinful reaction doesn't come on you. If you earn profit, many times we feel you can't make profit. No, business is all about profit. If you don't make profit, then you're not a businessman. But if you want to dovetail, if you don't want to take the karma of the profits, certain portion of your profit should be given for the service of the Lord. Likewise, when you dovetail your activities into whatever you are good in, you may be a great programmer, but if you continue to do your programming only for earning material, gains, then it causes bondage in the material world. Again, that Janma Mrityu Jara, the whole chakkar will be there. You come as a small little child, grow up, adulthood, you become old, then again you leave the body because your karmas are not as good as that you are supposed to go back to the spiritual world. So the most important part that one needs to really think is whatever I am doing today is for my preparation for the next life. If we are into spiritual path, what do we get at the end of this life? And Krishna confirms this. What do we get? We go back to Godhead. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna confirms that if you perform your duties properly, you come back to my abode and never return. So you go back to Golok Vrindavan and then come back. So today whatever we are doing is all our preparation for our next lifetime. It is like when the childhood, if you allow the child to continuously play and not teach him anything or not put him into school, that means you are spoiling the future of that child. Likewise, when he is a young adult, if you don't teach him good activities or good habits, then when he becomes a little elder, grown up child, he would do all wrong things. So you have to prepare your child when he is small for the next level. Likewise, we are fortunate to get this human form of life. If we don't prepare ourselves into what we have to do in our next life, if we don't prepare today, then we are wasting this life. And then we again come back. And we don't know what we are going to come back as. Are we going to come back as human beings? May or may not, depending on our karmas. One is depending on our karmas, and the second is depending on what is our thought at the time of our death. That is very important. Yeah. Uh, People say, okay, I will retire at the age of 70 and then I will take up to Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But at the age of 70, taking up spiritual life is not so easy. At 70, you may not even remember your husband or wife's name. Forget about Krishna. You may not even remember where is your house. If you get into dementia, then you don't know what is happening. If you have Alzheimer's, then you will forget every small thing. Your hand will be continuously shaking. So, don't think that there is some time that we have and I will die only at 80. And when I turn 70, 10 years will be left for me to practice bhakti. Not possible. King Kulashekar Alwar talks about this very, very discreetly. He says, "Oh my Lord, allow me to do your service till my body is fit, till I am able to walk to the temple. Please let me use my legs in the service of the Lord. Allow me to serve you in the temple, to serve the deities by offering puja, by cooking nice bhoga for you, till the time my hands are okay. Allow me to see your beautiful form till the time my eyes are okay." Now, in young age, also, all of us have got glasses. What to talk about seeing the Lord without glasses? Yeah. He says, "Allow me to chant your holy name before my throat chokes, before the mucus forms a part of my throat and chokes me up." So it is very important that we take up to Krishna consciousness right now. The need is very urgent. It is very important that we are preparing for the next lifetime. If we don't prepare for the next lifetime, then we don't know what is going to happen in the next lifetime. Nobody knows about it. And at the end of our current human form of body, when we leave the body, whatever is our thought, we will get that kind of a body and continue our journey. Yeah, if you think, if you do a lot of good things, then you may go to the higher planetary systems. You may become devatas, and you may enjoy longer life, lot of luxury, lot of things. But then, is that what we are looking at? No. As devotees, we are looking at how can I leave this karma bandhana here and graduate directly into the spiritual world. Go back home, back to Godhead, go back to Golok Vrindavan, where we have eternal pastimes with the Lord. The Lord is very rich. He's our Father, and He wants us to come back there. So, just touching upon, going back to our discussion for today, Krishna says it is very clearly that it is because of our passion, and passion is just the one mode of material nature. It is the modes of material nature which actually bind us into sinful activities. So one has to be very careful of whatever activities that they do, and at the same time we have certain percentage of ignorance, passion, and goodness in our mind. But then one has to really dovetail all these activities into the service of Krishna. And if we dovetail our activities into the service of Krishna, there is 100% probability. I'm saying not probability, 100% guarantee that Krishna himself assures us that you will come back home, back to Godhead, for which there is no doubt. And the statement is made by whom? Krishna says this. Krishna says this to Arjuna, saying that Arjuna, you announce it. Krishna didn't say this himself. Yeah? And the best part that you look at is Krishna can change his words, but Krishna will always leave the words of his disciple or uh, his devotee. Whatever a devotee says, Krishna will come in whatever form to fulfill that, because it is the instruction of Krishna, or it is the words of his devotee that he wants to keep up. Krishna is more interested in keeping up the words of his devotees rather than keeping up his own words. Many times, we see that Krishna changes, yeah, certain statements which he has made. But then, whatever commitment that a devotee gives, he always fulfills. He does whatever is required. Krishna does whatever is required to do to ensure that the instructions or the commitments or the promises of his devotees are kept. So, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna very clearly says that, you please go and announce, Arjuna, that they will all come back to me. There's absolutely no doubt about it. So, just to sum up these two shlokas that we did, 36 and 37, Arjuna is asking that we are forced to do some sinful activities. Why is that, Krishna? Without our own interest. We don't want to do it, but we are forced to do it. And Krishna answers saying that it is because of the touch with the material modes of nature, because of which you commit these sinful activities, and you can actually dovetail your activities. If you dovetail these activities, then modes of material nature will not come in your way. So this is what Krishna says in this two particular shlokas, and I will end my session here, my talk here, my shloka discussion here. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them, and if there are any corrections, please go ahead. I'll be happy to accept them, and if there are any doubts, happy to take those doubts. Thank you very much for your patience hearing. Hare Krishna.
Anybody has any question?